All right, everyone. I know a lot of you guys is going to hear this recording here. This is Saturday. I don't even know what the date is. Maybe the 26th. so we'll go ahead and record this training for this week. Well, this training for a lot of the new people who comes into wholesaling. So kind of walk you guys through a couple of things to get your phone to ringing. All right. So I have Miss Elaine on here right now. Miss Elaine, let me ask you a couple of questions here.
Okay.
So you're new to wholesaling. So you really don't know anything about wholesaling currently, right?
Correct. I've never done it.
Never done that at all. Have you ever so you never put together an offer or anything like that? This is totally new.
That's correct.
Totally new. Okay. So what I'm gonna show you here is normally what people who just sign up for our course training, and I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through that. I'm also at the end, I'm gonna give you like a 90-day thing that you should be doing in the next 30 days, whether, and to get your phone to ringing. Along with our back office, and by the end of this training, you should know everything you need to know to get started, right? You won't know every single thing, right? You got to get started to learn a lot of that stuff. But just to get, well, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. So in this business, right? Or let's say riding a bike. If a person told you or wrote a book on how to ride a bike and you've never tried to ride a bike, you'll be looking at it like, what is this? How do I do that? Like, what are you talking about? Keep your balance. You got to get on it to fall a few times. You can understand exactly how to pedal and, keep your balance, right? Same thing in this real estate game, right? I can tell everything you need to know. But until you get on and start making those calls, talking to those clients or those sellers, or whatever the case is, and talking to those buyers, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you like the basic information. But when you're talking to these clients or they're calling you, I'll give you the script on what to say, how to say it, all that good stuff. And at the same time, you can contact me and we go on the phone with them together so you can see exactly what I say to them as well. Right. So it's truly, this is like a one-on-one coaching deal. So you're never really on your own. So we give you the tools, and also we stick it beside you in case you have any questions. You can shoot me a text. We can do a conference call. We get you and the seller on the phone, or whatever the thing is. Our job is to get you to that next step.
Okay.
All the way through. So you're never alone. So some of these courses you buy 10, 15 grand, and you never hear from anybody else. You got to call them, and on Tuesdays at between 1 and 2, you got to call in to this thing. No. You actually have my personal cell phone number, but you can give me a call and you can ask me a question. Right? Okay. All right. So let's jump through this. So since it's just me and you right now, and I know everybody, I'll be sending an email out to people this particular training. So if you hear something that you don't quite understand, please stop me, and I have no problem asking you questions.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So now to everybody out there, go ahead and mute yourself real quick and just jump in when you need to. So everybody out there who has who's been wholesaling for a while, or who just started wholesaling but have the basic already, I'm gonna be able to answer some of y'all questions for you as well. Now, one thing I like to say ahead of time, I know a lot of you guys have Polio, that real estate investment software. That's cool. A lot of you guys have other things as well, but I always recommend REI Pro, is because you can do a lot of different things with that particular software, putting in offers on properties, contracts. There's tons of training videos on there, leads, every single thing. So if you go on REI Pro and get to that 30-day, I think it's 14-day trial that they give you. It's absolutely free. And to see exactly what we're talking about, or go on YouTube and pull up REI Pro software and just listen to some of the stuff that they have to offer you. It'd be very beneficial. So if somebody would have told me that when I first got in this business, I think I'd have closed my first deal a lot sooner. All right, so that being said, we're going to jump right into this thing. So welcome everybody. Everybody that came on and reached out to me who wanted to know a little bit more about it, what we have to offer. Now, as you guys may or may not know, so for next month or so, we would no longer be offering this particular program. Now, everybody who's on this program right now will be grandfathered in, so nothing changed or anything like that. What we're going to now is strictly consulting. So if you need something from me or whatever the case, you just reach out to me. We block an hour or two out, and I train you on whatever you need to be trained. But everybody who's actually on on this call now, who is listening now, you basically be grandfathered in. So I will always be available for you. But the new people coming in after 30 days from now, of course, it's going to be, by hour, consulting fee based on an hour or 2 hour blocks of time, where I can train you one-on-one, your team one-on-one, your assistant one-on-one, or whatever needs to be done, but be done just like that. But so for you guys that's on here, you're going to get a treat here. So let's go. All right. And the reason why I'm doing that is that right now I'm busy, to be honest with you. So it's a lot that's actually going on with me right now. So, and I got to make sure I'm dedicating that time to my business. All right. So let me make sure my screen is right. In this business, man, keep in mind, as a wholesaler, this is the entry level. So this shouldn't, some people just do wholesaling, and that's cool. You can make you some good money doing that. But if you ever want to get to the position to where you want to, have your money work for you, wholesaling is just a way to get into real estate investing, and then eventually you want your money to work for you. That's the key to this thing. For buy, fix, and flip, we're going to introduce you to some people who can help you with the financing to that. To do Airbnb, we know people who can, plug you into how to do Airbnb, subject to owner finance, lease option, master lease option, you name it. But I'm going to get you from A to Z, right? You just got to implement the stuff that we're talking about. So the first thing that we're going to do here is kind of get your phone to ringing. That's the number one thing now. So instead of you reaching out to all these people all the time, how do you get people reaching out to you? Right? Residential documents, right? We're going to go over that as well. So normally, this is what we normally charge on our particular course here. And, you guys have already done it already. All right. So look, number one thing now, let's get your phone to ring. So you already have your leads that you may get pulling from different sources, lead sources, generation sources, things of that nature. That's cool. But that costs you money. So how do I get my people reaching out to me? What system can I put in place to get people reaching out to me to where I don't have to spend any more money on marketing and advertising for a while, but get deals sent over to me? All right. So the number one thing here, the first thing here is you see at the very top, it's called wholesaling co-ventures, right? So wholesaling is co-ventures. It's called a JV deal, where you find another wholesaler who has a property that they have already under contract. And you reach out to them and say, hey, man, I see you got a property. It's already under contract. I have a buyer that may be interested in this deal. Can we come together and do a joint venture where we split the assignment fee 50-50? So if you're going to make 10 grand on this deal, they get 5, you get 5. And what you're doing, you combine it. Now, working with us, we show you how to find cash buyers in all 50 states very quickly. So if you run across a person who got a great deal already, all you got to do is tie that in together. You do a JV contract. The property is already, the person that's there already boots on the ground. You just put it together. You put the buyer with the seller together, and you make money. So we show you how to structure that. That's one of the easiest way to do a deal. And this is how you do it. If you go on Facebook and pull up wholesaler Facebook groups right now, in all 50 states, you probably have 5 or 10, probably 20 of these Facebook groups that's in these particular areas. And what I do, I have my assistant, or I could do myself, but normally my assistant doesn't. She looks at it and see who's the most active. And so you'll see a lot of people on there posting, I got a deal in Arkansas, I got a deal in Omaha, whatever the case is, right? Dallas, or whatever the case is. And I just DM them. Hey, man, I see you got a great deal. Are you interested in doing a joint venture on this property? Yeah, man, I got a deal, man. I don't have a buyer, man. You got buyers in this area? Absolutely. Send me over the information. Here's my email address. Send me over your JV contract. Let's get it signed. And let me go get you a buyer. Let's make some money. They send it over to you. We quickly analyze it. What you can do, you can send it over to us. We'll analyze it to make sure it's a solid deal. And what we do now is send you out maybe 100 buyers in that particular area. And all you have to do at that point is reach out to these buyers. Hey, I got a great deal on 123 Main Street. Here's the pictures. Here's the videos. Let me know if you're interested in it. This is what we want for it. So, of course, and that's all you have to do. The person that's on the ground is the one that's going to let that person in the property and let them, out of the property, or schedule the time where that person can get in and get out. So you physically going to be able to sell the rights to this property from wherever you're at without physically have to be there or touching these deals at all. That's one way of doing it. So imagine if you go on 10 different Facebook groups across the United States, and you pick you about 10 people from each one of those groups, and you do this strategy to each one of those people. Guess what? Every time you wake up in the morning, you're gonna have somebody sending you a deal. So now your phone is ringing. Your phone is ringing. Your email is dinging you. I got a potential deal here. You really only have to set this up one time to do this. So in your lunch break, 30 minutes instead of eating lunch, take that time out and set up these Facebook, hit everybody up on these Facebook groups, and you get your phone to ring. So them leads don't cost you any money. They're already under contract. All you need is to find a buyer. We show you how to find buyers in those areas. Pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. So that's just one. Imagine if you do all of these here. So let's keep going. So HUDstore.com. I don't know if you're familiar with REI properties. Am I saying that right? REO properties. That's when the government takes these properties for taxes or whatever the case is. The person's not paying their mortgage on their property, and foreclosed on or whatever the case is, right? So if you go online, HUD.com or HUDstore.com, you have tons of properties in different areas of zip codes where the property got taken away. You have the REO agent already attached to the property. So all you have to do is pull it up, and you can actually look in these properties. You see the REO agent attached to it already. You got tons of pictures on there. I think it even got videos on there now too, and roughly how much what they're selling this property for. So you can quickly look up this property, do your numbers on this property, see if it's a solid deal, and put your offers in. So what I do in this situation, I contact the realtor that's over it and say, listen, I am an investor, so I'm not looking to pay retail for a property. But what I want to do is have you to be able to put offers in for me. Do you have an assistant that put in your offers for you? And the reason why I asked them that is because a realtor, it takes time to put offers in on property. So if you're sending 5 or 10 offers a day on a property and it's a low ball offer, sooner or later they're going to get tired of doing that, right? But if they have an assistant that's doing that, all they do is push that work over to the assistant. The assistant is consistent, putting these offers in for you. That's it. Now, here's the deal you got to kind of consider. When you're doing HUD foreclosures, when you're putting those offers in on those properties, a couple of things. When they first put these properties online, they want to send it out to cash to regular buyers, not to companies. So for the first 2 weeks, it's not for us. So they let us see if anybody's going to buy it, regular customer, whatever the case is. And if they don't, then they open it up to investors. Now, if you're going to do this particular strategy, it's important to get your LLC set up that you'll be willing to sell the rights for too. So let's say you get your LLC 123 Main Street. And so this particular LLC is strictly for putting in offers on properties from HUDstore.com. And the reason why you do that is because when they accept your offer, they're going to write the contract up in that LLC's name. They don't want to see your name come off that contract and somebody else's name goes on it. So what you want to do is put your company name on there and then sell the rights to your LLC. So the name on the contract never changes. It's just your rights to that LLC changes. And you get your check cut directly to you. That person go ahead and close that deal. Everybody wins. Hope that makes sense to you guys. But you can literally do that at lunchtime in all 50 states. You can put in thousands of offers a day, right? The great thing about the HUDstore.com is that you will know, if you put an offer in today, you'll know by the end of the day if you won that bid or not. By the end of that day. And here's another thing too. If the property is under $100,000, the earner's money fee is $500. If it's over $100,000 price, it's $1,000. So, but now you have up to 72 hours to put that money down. Now, if you already have a buyer in that area already, that money comes from them, not from you. So in this case, if you're doing HUDstore, you need to have the buyer already set up. So what you want to do is reach out to some buyers in these areas. Hey, are you a buyer? Are you interested in buying right now? What are you looking to buy? What kind of criteria are you looking to buy? A property you're looking to buy? And it's 3 bedroom, 1 bath. I want to spend about $200 or $300 $100,000 or whatever the case is, and you find a property that matches that person's criteria. So when you get it under contract, you already have a buyer or 2 or 3 already lined up. So there's no issue of getting that earnest money over to them, because I don't pay earnest money at all. All mine come from end buyers. So this is a way that you can do a deal without investing any of your money into this deal, and possibly can, make you 10, 15, 20 grand on a deal. You're just tying the seller with the buyer. That's all you're doing. All right. Now, if you are an investor as well, you also can go to the MLS. There's ways to get that done too. I will say use the strategy of double dipping with the agent. Have the agent be your buyer, and and the seller of the situation. So maybe that person's the listing agent, and you want them to be your buyer's agent as well. You do the double dip. That gives them more incentive to work with you. So instead of them making 3% of the deal, they can make 6% of the deal. Now your offer become more attractive to that real estate agent. So it's tons of strategies on how to do that. You go right on YouTube University and pull up how to wholesale MLS deals, and there's tons of videos on there that kind of walk you through that, right? Or you schedule some time with me. I sit down, we'll go over step by step. All right, another one is expired listings. So what is an expired listing? It's when a real estate agent has a property that they're trying to sell, and for some reason they can't sell it, and the time runs out. So technically, it's no longer under contract anymore. But all real estate agents have it. Some real estate agents, they don't know how to get out and hustle to find a buyer. All they know is to put it on MLS and hope it sells. But if it don't sell from the MLS, the property goes back. So now some real estate agents have a stack of expired listings. So what we do, we have my assistant to pull up top real estate agents in whatever market you look in the market in. Let's say Dallas County. You pull up, it's thousands of them, and we give them a call. Hey, real estate attorney, I pulled you up from online. I see that you're killing it. You've been in the game for an extended period of time. So tell me, what do you do with your expired listings? Man, I got one the other day. I couldn't sell it. The lady wanted too much for it. I tell you what, send it over to me. If I'm able to get it done, I will send you $1,000 or $2,000 referral fee. How that sound? Okay, cool. Guess what? They're going to send you everything that they have. And once you close one of those deals and they make them $1,000, $2,000 off that deal, they're going to tell every agent in their office, right? Because these deals are currently dead, and I brought it back to life, and they made money. Because real estate agents, they make money off commission, right? So if they didn't do nothing with that deal, they don't eat. This is the way that you can build relationship with real estate agents. You can possibly go and do a presentation at their office and explain to them exactly what you're doing, how it can be beneficial for them. You can kill the game. What you could do is do a big Zoom. Reach out to all these attorney offices. Let them know you have a Zoom online to explain how to make money from your expired listing. Matter of fact, I'm just thinking of this right now, to be honest with you. I'm going to do this myself. So I'm going to beat you, right? Right? So send a memo out or email out to all these different real estate agents, companies, doing a big deal on expired listings. How you can bring these deals back to life, how you can make money. Do a big PowerPoint presentation about 30 minutes and send your email out there and see who responds to it. Let's see if we can get a deal done. That's how you do it. Thinking outside the box. I just thought of that right now as we speak. So let me write this down. Give me 1 second. Let me write this down. Boy, that's crazy. But here's the deal too. So let's say if you hire an assistant to do this for you. So on Zoom, you can have up to a couple thousand people on there, right? So let's say, and you got the RSVP, right? So let's say she sent all these massive emails out to reach out to all these people, and they come on. Or maybe they don't even know. Maybe they spend a lot of money on their marketing and they don't know about these type of things, right? So let's continue to go. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. Another one is for sale by owners. If you go to forsaleByOwners.com, I notice now a lot of them have real estate. A lot of them have realtors on it. now. But it used to be owners. So you may want to take a look at it. I haven't did this particular strategy in a while. But it used to be owners of properties that's on for sale by owners.com. And you just reach out to them. Hey, man, I see you got a property on such and such. I want to know, what do you want for it? You know, I'm a cash buyer. I'm not looking to spend the retail price. Matter of fact, let me put together some offers for you. Are you interested in owner finance? Are you interested in land contract, rent to own, whatever the case is? You try to get them to think outside the box, right? All right. So another one is property management companies. See, I always say that if a property management company don't know you by name in your area, you're not really in real estate investing. Because, and then here's why. Let's say I got 15 properties. I live in California, but my property is in Texas, Dallas County. And let's say my wife and I decide, hey, we want to become nomads and I'm tired of this real estate. I'm ready to sell all these properties and walk away. So what I'm going to do is give you a 60 or 30-day notice on these properties. Hey, I'm my wife getting ready to become a nomad. We want to sell these properties. And the first thing the management company is going to do is say, oh man, we're about to lose 5-10% of revenue coming in this property. Coming from this guy, he's getting ready to sell these properties. So they may know a real estate attorney, a real estate agent or whatever, who may put these properties online and hope they sell, right? But this guy really, if the guy tell him, hey, go ahead and try to get them sold or whatever the case is, or he may have somebody in line. But with us, we can sell them very quickly, right? So now with the property management company may say, man, if we turn them on to a real estate agent, the owner may sell these properties and going on, we still gonna lose his revenue. But if you've been going by this property management company once a month, maybe bringing them donuts or coffee or whatever the case is, if you live in up north and it snows out there, you've been going up there shoveling the snow. If you in the spring going out there raking the leaves, or they're having a party, you blowing up balloons, and they get to know you by name, and you pull up and they say, oh, that's Jay. So what happens is they reach out to you knowing that you deal with investors. They're going to say, hey, this other guy, he say he got 15 properties. He's getting ready to sell in the next 90 days. Do you know anybody that may be interested in these properties that may be willing to keep them here? Yeah, I got a couple people that may be willing to buy these properties and keep them here. So now I got potentially another 15 deals that I can sell at a discount to my end buyer and have a great property management company already in place. That's gold. That's gold, guys. It's so many things. So many things that you can do within that structure and make you some money. So imagine if you go property management company in whatever state, you're gonna pull up hundreds, maybe thousands. Let's say if you do it in the whole America. You know how many property management companies that's in America? You can be sitting right at your dining room table and pulling up all these property management companies, sending them all emails, tell them you having a great Zoom meeting about how to make money when a person leaves you as a management company, whatever the case is, right? And I'm thinking of this right now. I'm about to implement this too. So, oh man, this is crazy. Okay, that's how I go, man. I'm thinking outside the box today. But this is what you can do to get your phone to ringing. So and it takes one time to set this up. You can hire an assistant to do that for you. Let's say on the weekend, her job is to do just this for you. By Monday morning, you're going to your phone get the ringing and people calling you, whether you try to call them. All right. So that's just a few of them. So let's keep going. What I always tell people too, this is going to sound kind of crazy, right? But the newspaper. Now, when a person's selling a property or trying to rent a property, now they're going to real estate agents, right? But if you're an old school person, let's say you 50, 60 years old, you don't know anything about that. When you got a property that you're looking to sell, you put it in the newspaper, right? So let's say this Sunday you go to the news, get your newspaper, and go to the house set for sale or rental side of that newspaper. And when you pull it up and you see a house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath for sale, and it got the phone number of the owner right there. So you just give them a call. Hey man, I see you got a property on 123 Main Street. I see you got it for sale, man. I see you got it for rent because you go to the for rent side. I see you got it for rent. I want to know if you're interested in selling it. Man, I'm renting it because I couldn't sell it. What would you give me for it? I'll tell you what, give me the complete address of this property. Do you have any pictures or videos? Send that over to me. Let me put together some offers and when can we meet? This property can be right in your neighborhood. Right. And so you're thinking outside the box, guys. This is the diamond in the rough. You may be the only wholesaler in your area who's looking in the newspaper for deals. Now you can go to the for rent side. You ain't got to go to the for sale side. Go to the for rent side and talk to them. Same thing on Zillow. See, I noticed on Zillow is a little different now. It's a lot of people, a lot of real estate agents marketing on there. And I think Zillow even trying to do deals or whatever. But I did the same thing for them as well. See, what people didn't know that on Zillow, they have for sale side, but they also have for rent side too. And back then, I don't know if it's still like that. It's been a while since I did the strategy, but a lot of those properties that was for rent, they had the owner's phone number right there. I just called them. So now I got a potential seller right there. Sometimes I have a potential investor too. He just want to get rid of this property, you know. So we build that relationship. Maybe go sit down and have some coffee, chop it up a little bit, and build a relationship with him. But you have to try it. So imagine, I don't know where you live at, but imagine you stay in a small town and you in another town or whatever. You did this. You're the only one that's doing it. You got a source of leads coming in that nobody really knows about or even talks about. You got to think outside the box. All right. The next one is a bird dog. So I don't know if you guys know what a bird dog is, but a bird dog, real estate bird dog, is a person who sources leads to investors for a fee. See, normally a bird dog makes anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per deal that closes, right? So let's say you're known as you ride your bike on Saturday, right? You riding around the neighborhood and you see a property that looks empty, or maybe the mailbox is full of mail, or the grass is grew up, or it looks like somebody's not living there. So what you do in that situation, you call up your investor, somebody who buys property, say, hey, it's a property on such and such street. It looks like it's nobody living in there. You may want to take a look at it. And if you buy it, give me $500 to $1,000 per deal that closes. That's all they get, right? So what we do. Our bird dogs, what we do, we bring them on partners. So, and let me explain why I say that. If you go online, go on YouTube right now, pull up real estate bird dogs, you're going to have tons of them in each state. A lot of them in different cities or whatever the case is. So what my assistant do, go on there and see who's the most active. Maybe DM about 5 or 10 of them and say, listen, I see that you out here killing us. You continue to post properties and stuff like that. I'm looking to bring you on as a partner. Meaning, I'm going to split the assignment fee with you 50-50. I'm not going to give you $500 to $1,000. If I make 10 grand, you make 5, I make 5. So send me over the deals that you have, and let's see if we can get these deals done. And and you come on, you get on the contract with me. So it's not just my deal, it's our deal. It only takes one of those deals to guess what? That person is every deal that they come across, they're going to go to you because they're going to make the most money. So that other wholesaler, other investor who's only paying $500 to $1,000, now you're paying them $5,000, you're going to win every time. That's what we're talking about. We're going to pay the max amount of money to the greatest bird dogger, right? And we all going to make money. Now, here's a couple of things that you may not know. Who knows your area or your city better than you? Isn't it the mailman? The mailman goes to every nook and cranny of your city. He knows when the house is vacant. He knows when the people just got put out. He knows when the house needs to be repaired. He knows everything about that community. So next time you see you and a mailman, you may want to give him a cup of cold water and tell him exactly what you do. Hey man, listen, I know you all over this mug, man. I need you on my team. Every probably you see that the mail is not going to consistently no more. Maybe somebody moved out or need a little work or whatever. Hey, shoot me that address, and if we buy this property, I'm gonna give you $500. I'm gonna give you $5,000 if we buy it on every deal. So guess what? Now I have a person who's in this particular zip code every single day that are looking for deals for me. And guess what? Other mailmen, they know other mailmen. So I possibly can have that whole little branch out there looking for deals for me in all these particular zip codes in this county. That's priceless, man. That's priceless. Listen, that was I don't know how to, that's a drop the mic night. That's a drop the mic right there. They are working for you. So now my phone is ringing. Hey, Jay, I just emailed you a lead, man. Let me know what you think about it. And then follow up. Hey, I just followed up with this guy. I finally got in contact with the owner. We got a meeting scheduled for the day at this time. I'll let you know how it go. When I talk to that owner and we decide to do a deal and we got in a contract, I call I call this mailman up. Say, hey, good news, man. I just got in a contract. Here, I'm gonna send it over to you, get you to sign as well. We're gonna go ahead and buy this deal. You're looking to make about $4,000 on this deal. So we're gonna make 8, you're gonna make 4, I make 4. And once he closed that deal, he's gonna be so ecstatic. He's gonna tell everybody he knows. Man, this dude I'm working with right now, he's giving me this because I'm doing this. There it is, guys. You talk about doing this one time and get people to constantly call you. This is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Lane. Are you there? I think you're still on mute. She made a step away for a second. But okay, so vacant homes, guys, very important. You can pull up vacant home leads from REI Pro, PropStream. You can actually, you can go to there's quite a few different ways to actually pull up property to see if they're vacant. Definitely do that as well. And so a person probably may be vacant, but they don't want to be vacant for too long because you got people who will go in there and squat. It's hard to get them out of there. People will go in there, snatch out all the plumbing, electrical wiring, all that type of stuff. So those type of people who properties are vacant, they're and they're losing money. They got to pay tax on these properties. So, and it may be absentee owner. So you need to maybe get your absentee owner leads as well. There's ways to go about doing that, through REI Pro, PropStream, and stuff like that. So that's important. Now, REI clubs, guys. Listen, we just launched the REI club. We just launching one on the 9th of next month, right? April 2021. So you need to be a part of that, right? Once they open this thing up to where you can go to these REI club, I think you can do it now, and you're going to rub shoulders with people who think like you. You want to get around investors and talk to them and see what they're looking for so you can tailor what you're doing to fit what they want. How are you going to know what a person wants, investor want, unless you talk to them? So you got to do that. Now, you can do that through different markets by doing it online through Zoom. Like our members will be all throughout the United States. So I'll be able, because I'm a virtual wholesaler. I'm not just centralized in Dallas County. I can do deals everywhere. So it's benefit me to be online to do it. But some people may just only want to do it in their backyard. So if that's the case, you need to pull up REI clubs in your area, and you need to rub shoulders with those people. That's very important. Now, you want to definitely do a lot of networking, man. Go take you some business cards. Maybe you want to get some magnet signs to go inside of your car. So when you ride up and down the street, it says I buy houses, or Elaine buys houses, Jay buys houses, whatever the case is. You want to definitely do that. Those are, I got 2 big magnet signs I've had for years now. I paid like $100 for 2 of them. But when I want to take them off, I just take them off and put them in my trunk. But it's beneficial. I mean, I rode them down the street, and people just breaking their necks to see what my signs say. People call me. Guy rode down the street one day. Guy said, "Man, you buy houses?" "Yeah, man, I got a house on such and such street. Man, I want to sell it, man. Here's my information." I didn't get the property because it needed a lot more work than he spoke about. But it's evident that the advertisement worked. And another thing too, driving for dollars, right? I would say if you're going to be doing some driving for dollars is when a person goes into a particular area and they kind of scouts the area to see if there's any abandoned houses or probably need work or whatever the case is. If you're going to be doing that type of work, you should have some magnet signs in your car, because you don't want to be driving up and down the streets, driving all slow in these times, because people think people are trying to break into people's houses. Right? When a person looks outside and see your sign, I buy houses, they're like, oh, that's an investor looking to buy a house, or whatever the case is. Or the police pull up, they kind of know what you're doing. Right? So it's important in today's time. Get you some magnet signs. Very beneficial. If you do Uber, Lyft, all Uber Eats, all that type of stuff, you should have magnet signs on the side of your car, doing your marketing, all that good stuff. Very, very beneficial, guys. Driving for dollars. So go online and pull up how to drive for dollars. Or do online driving for dollars as well. Now, every month in your county, they have tax sale. If you ever want to find buyers in your area, you go to that tax sale. So pull up tax sales in your county. And so once a month, I think here in Dallas County, I think it's every second Tuesday or something like that, where you go downtown. So everybody down there is putting offers in on properties, right? So everybody down there is liquid. They are cash buyers. Take your business cards down there, give them your information. You take their number, their email address. So when you do find something in that area, you can quickly send an email out there to people who are actually looking for properties now. These are not tire kickers. These are actual people looking to buy immediately, right? So hope I'm not boring you guys. All right. So now, real estate attorneys. Now, I always use the illustration, right? So why would I need to deal with a real estate attorney? Or divorce attorney? I'm sorry, divorce attorney is what I'm thinking about. Well, real estate attorneys are good as well, but divorce attorney. So let's say a husband and wife buy a property based on both of their income. Let's say a husband goes out and does something he shouldn't do. The first thing the wife would do is go contact a divorce attorney and say, okay, I want out. He's this, and this. And look, neither one of them can afford to live in this property alone because it's based on both of their income. The first thing the divorce attorney is going to do is point her to a real estate agent. And now, if that real estate agent is not a high octane real estate agent and he's put it on the market, it may be there for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, maybe even a year. And what that's doing is destroying their credit possibly, or destroying their nest egg, right? So many times that person in that situation just want to sell it now and be done with it. So we have an email template that we send out to you, where it basically talks about, hey, you pull up top real estate divorce attorneys in this area and send them all the emails, tell them, hey, look, this is what we do. We buy properties within 7 to 10 days. We pay all cash. We can close quickly. Send us over the properties that need to be sold immediately, and we'll give you anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 per deal that we close. So it gives that attorney more of an incentive to work with you, right? And we can get it done fast. That's the winning combination, guys. So now this divorce attorney, for nothing else, he make a couple extra $1,000 to $5,000 on the deal, and the seller gets their property sold quickly and going on with their life, and it's a win-win for everybody. That's a great strategy. So imagine if you do that in all 50 states, and you get them divorce attorneys sending you leads every single day from all different states. It's a great strategy, guys. All right. Now we talked about business cards and stuff like that. You definitely want to get you some business cards. They're pretty inexpensive. Everybody should know that you're in real estate. Post on your social media account a couple times a day. I buy houses, or looking for some deals or whatever. Add yourself to some groups to get your name out there. Word of mouth is very important. Everybody knows somebody is going to buy a house in the next year or two, right? So my uncle may know a friend who's going to buy a house, so we're kind of connected that way, right? We want them to say, my nephew, excuse me, my nephew Jay is in real estate. Here's his number. Give him a call. So everybody I know, before they buy anything, got to call me first. All right. So a great way to get deals, man, is through probate. Probate leads are very important. It has to, make sure that you attack that in a way that is not pushy or whatever the case is. Pre-foreclosure, you can definitely get that through REI Pro or PropStream as well. Absentee owners, the same. You can do free Facebook ads, social media, get your YouTube channel. If you go, I don't know if I still have it up or not, but if you go to Jay Wicker, JayWickerer, and pull up some of my earlier stuff that's on there, you'll see me sitting in my truck as a Class A driver selling real estate. I remember a guy reached out to me from Africa. He had seen me, and I was blown away about that. So which is interesting, right? All right. So another thing as well. So working with us, we if you need leads, we can send you up to 400 leads, or maybe even more if you need them. So just tell us what kind of leads you need, what zip codes you need them in. We'll send that over to you as well. Eviction filings for rent signs, for sale by owner signs, you name it. We also do commercial as well. So this is the difference between us and other people. We don't not only just do residential, but we do commercial properties. So residential real estate is from 1 to 4 units. Commercial is 5 units and above. It's considered commercial. They're totally different real estate techniques to get done, but we do that as well. So if you out and about, you run across an 8-unit property, Can we work with that? Do we have buyers? Absolutely, absolutely. You send that over to us, we can help you get that done. Now, the interesting about it is residential, you make 100% of your money. So if you make 10 grand, that's your 10 grand. We don't get $1 of it. Now, if you want to give us some, it won't hurt our feelings, but you don't have to, and that won't hurt our feelings neither. Now, when it comes to commercial, we do 50-50 on the deal because of the work that goes into a commercial deal. It's not that easy to do, right? But it's worth it. And you know, one of those deals, you know, you're talking about possibly a 6-figure paycheck. All right. So here's a few things that you guys can do, a few ways to get leads, get stuff coming to you. Just by doing this alone, if you do this, get this all set up, you can close deals just by this alone. So let's continue, guys. We'll talk about the 400 leads where you can actually get more if you need more as well. Now, when you get your leads, this is exactly how the leads come. Just like this without any numbers. All right, so in order to get the numbers, this is what we call skip tracing on a budget. So let's say you have no money and you want to do a skip tracing service. Here's a few of these skip tracing services that I used when I first got started. White Pages, Anywho, been verified. They all have paid services as well, but they have free services that you can actually use. Now, the numbers is probably going to be about 60% great, good, or whatever the case is. So there's nothing out there that's 100%, unless you're using the telemarketer. They know exactly how to find you, a debt collector, or whatever the case is. But this is what I used when I first got started. Now, another thing you can use as well is social media. If you know that person's name, first name, last name, and the city that they stayed in, go ahead and push it in on Facebook, or type it in on Facebook, first and last name, and Dallas. So you may get 5 people pop up with that same name. Just DM all 5 of them. Hey, I see that you own a property on 123 Main Street. Want to know if you're interested in selling it. Maybe 4 people text you back and cuss you out, but that 5th one may say, you know, I do have a property on that street. How much you give me for it? I tell you what, here's my phone number. Let's talk. So this is a way to get that done. Hope I'm not talking too fast, guys. So now, let's say you had a 500 to 1,000 leads that you want to get skip tracing real quick. The one that we use right now that works great for us is batch skip tracing, right? So if you go online and pull up batch skip tracing on YouTube, let's say you do it on YouTube, there's a tutorial on how to upload your Excel spreadsheet to batch skip tracing. Now, here's the great thing about it. So if you got 500 to 1,000, you just upload it. It's like literally a couple of cents, 3-4 cents or something like that per lead or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's really inexpensive. And within an hour or 2, they'll send you out all of those phone numbers. So now the great thing about it, it may be they send you up to 10 phone numbers, and sometimes it's an email address as well. So you may get that person's auntie number, uncle number, that person's nephew number, sister number, and possibly their email address as well. You just call them all. Hey, I'm looking for Mr. Jamal. Got the property on 123. Oh, that's my brother. Hey, man, I've been trying to catch up with him. I want to buy it from him. Do you happen to have his cell phone number? There it is. He called him up. Hey, your sister told me to give you, I talked to your sister, man. She gave me your number. I'm interested in buying your property on 123 Main Street. Yeah, man, I was doing a little work to it, man. But yeah, money kind of tight. What would you give me for it? Now, how much do you want for it? And then you go into your spiel, right? But this is the way to get it done. So now, normally what I do in this situation, when I do a skip tracing service, batch skip tracing first, I send a blast email out to them first. If I don't hear nothing back from them, then we can send like a text blast. We don't hear nothing back from that, we do a ringless voicemail drop. And then push come to shove, I'll get some calls as well. So I want to touch people about 3 to 4 times per leads, right? 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. Now, here's the property research form. So let's say you're talking to the seller and you want to know what to say. Here's some information that you can say. This is basic information. Just jot it down. So let them know, say, hey, I'm asking you a few questions about your property, and I may take a little time to ask you for the next one. Just want to let you know I'm writing everything down. I don't want to miss anything. And you just go through the whole list. Property inspection sheet. Now, I always recommend everybody to at least go out at least 5 times if it's a property that's in your neighborhood. Go out to some properties in your neighborhood so you can kind of get a feel of what it's like to walk around the property, to take some pictures of the roof, to take pictures on the side, to take pictures in the inside and out. You want to feel that a few times. So when you're talking to a person that's in another city that you're not in, you can kind of picture you being at that property and be able to tell them the angles that you need, so that way you can pass it on to your investors. Right now, here's the great thing about this. Let's say you don't know anything about what costs, right? So just like this, so when he says a carpet, vinyl, and tile, hardwood floors, about $5,000. Just jot that in there. When it talks about, lighting, usually about $3,000. We talk about AC, about $5,000. What you do, you add all that stuff up, and you see roughly what the repair cost will be. Now, these numbers will be completely off if you're in California or New York. Completely off. So, but you're in middle America, Texas, things of that nature, Indiana, stuff like that, the numbers are pretty much on point. Now, understand, you won't have 100% accurate, because the end buyer is the one that's going to go and analyze his property. So if we said that the property is going to take about 10 grand to get it repaired, and it turned out it needs 20 grand, then we had to go back and renegotiate that with our end buyer. Hey man, initially thought this probably be 10 grand, turned out it could be 20 grand because of this, and this. We need to come back to the table and renegotiate this deal to get this deal working. Right? So it's as simple as that. And I'm working with you, so we get on the phone together. You'll hear me talk to them in your behalf. So we used to do this cold calling service. We no longer do that anymore. Here's the ringless voicemail drops. If you want to learn how to do that, you quickly go online and pull up ringless voicemail drops and reach out to them. This is not a service that we offer, but it's an outside service that we use. Now, here's your letter for your divorce attorney. You should already have this as well. Basic information, kind of talk about, what we talked about. Here's your letter for the property management company as well. You just cut and paste. Click on property management company, click cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. That's it. Literally, you can do 30 and 50 seconds, right? Properties, here's your letter for your commercial properties as well, dealing with brokers. All right, so here is the contract. Now, here's the great thing about a contract to purchase when you're dealing with wholesale deals. They're so simple that a person who really don't know anything about real estate won't be overwhelmed by it, right? It's you agree to buy, I agree. Well, I agree to buy, you agree to sell. Hold on, what I'm saying. You agree to sell, I agree to buy and or sign it, right? Basic information, legal description. We, working with us, we'll fill out all this stuff for you to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted. Now, in your contract as a wholesaler, it has to have and or assign on it, right? Or if it said you cannot assign, that's not a deal that you can actually do. So title companies in there, and these are pro wholesaler contracts, meaning they're slanted towards the wholesaler. So it's not something that's locking you in, right? If you want to get out of that at any time, you definitely can do that on these particular contracts. So if you want to have your attorney to go over it, please feel free. But these are the contracts that I actually use myself personally. All right, so sometimes you'll run across an investor who don't want that, a little bit more sophisticated investor who don't want that one-page document. So what we have is what they call a long form contract. And it has it's a lot more wordy, but it actually says the exact same thing. And normally, we just, they go ahead and sign it. It's really kind of crazy. All right. So here's a land contract. So, if you ever need some time to kind of go over everything word for word, just let us know. We would definitely do that. Now, here's the most important thing when it comes to us, right? So if you're working with us and you work with our back office team, and you want us to put together offers for you, submit contracts, and all that good stuff for you, this is what you need to fill out when you're working with us. So you get this is in Word format or in PDF, and this is called a residential submit form. So only thing that we need is the address of the property, city and state and zip, the asking price, what the seller wants for the property. So let's say the seller say, I want $100,000 for this property. And the next words is like, listen, I'm paying all cash, can close quickly. I mean, what's the least you'll take for it? Maybe they say, well, I'll take $90,000 for it. I'm like, listen, man, I'm paying all cash. I'm a cash buyer, man. All cash. What's the least you'll take for it? Well, I'll take $75 for it. You write that down. And then now you fill out the rest of it. How many bedrooms, all that good stuff, put your name in, your phone number, and anything you need to put at the very bottom that we should know about, write that in there. And now it's important to put in the asking price, because when we do the numbers on this deal, let's say we're able to offer 110. We don't want to offer 110 if they agreed to pay 75. We'd rather for that money to go in your pocket. Right? So you have to put that in there. Now, what you can do, you can print it off if you want to, take a picture with your phone, email it directly to my assistant, or you can just email it direct to my assistant and let them, and then soon my assistant sees it, they say, hey, Mr. Lane, I see that you sent this over to us. Give me 15 minutes, I'll send you your offers. Or it'll be tomorrow morning, I'll send you your offers. So to let you know we did receive it and we're working on it for you. So it's very important. Residential submit form, everybody should have that already. All right, here's the residential lease agreement. All right, so here's the joint venture agreement. So this is when the seller has a property, you have a buyer, you guys need to sign another contract. It's called a joint venture agreement, where now you become truly partners on this deal. So they sign this, you sign this, and now you guys are ready to find a cash buyer to make some money. Now, right here it says 50-50. Now, whatever you guys negotiate, if it's 30-70 or 20-80, whatever you guys negotiate, that's on you. But I try to keep mine at 50-50, because without them, there's no me. Without me, there's no them. So we're truly partners. All right, here's the addendum to purchase agreement. So you have a contract signed. Oh, no, this is addendum, all right? So in this particular situation, I had a property out of, I think it was Houston, if I'm not mistaken. It was a townhome. And we wanted, the seller had just bought this property. No, yeah, this was Houston. Yeah, this was Houston. The seller had not too long ago bought this property, but then he bought all brand new furniture, refrigerator, stove, everything. Then he got a great job offer here in Dallas. So he rented that property out with all the stuff in it and everything. He left it and he moved down here to Dallas. So probably about a week or so before we closed this deal, he called me up. He said, hey, man, I got some brand new furniture, stove, the whole nine, man, that I'm not taking, man. I'll sell it to you. So, and pretty much, we had to add it to this contract. So I paid a lot less for all that stuff, man. But I was going to drive down there and pick it up. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. So what I did, I found an end buyer who wanted to buy the property, but I also sold the furniture with it as well. So I actually got more money from the deal. So this is what they call an addendum, that, you want to add something to the contract, you do it with this form here. And again, we show you exactly how to do that. Now, here's an assignment contract. This is what you do. When you see this come out, you know you're about to get paid. So you're assigning your rights to this contract for a fee. So this goes between you and the end buyer for a fee. So this is that money. This is the money one. And again, we will fill this out for you. We'll walk you through this as well. So you're not on your own. So we make sure you're getting paid. All right. Here's an authorization to release form. Normally you see this when the person has a mortgage on their property and you want to know exactly what they owe on this property. So let's say you talk to a seller and you say, how much you owe on this property? He may say $100,000, but truthfully, it may be $101.17. You need to know exactly what that is. So when you write this up, you want to make sure it's paid off. So normally the title company will take care of this, but just in case they don't, you fill this out, send it directly to, fax it directly to, or email it directly to the actual title company to get the print off. All right. Now, here's a termination of purchase and sale agreement. Now, from your original contract that you have with the seller, let's say for some reason you picked this property up, it was in a rural area, you just wanted to try to see if you can get a buyer in this area. For some reason you can't. Or maybe the seller told you it needs 10 grand in repairs, but turn out it needs 50 grand, and you cannot find a buyer who will buy it. Here's the form that you fill out. It's called a termination of purchase and sale agreement. So based on our contract, I'm relinquishing you from the contract at this date because of this, and this. Sign it, send it over to the seller, and you can walk away from the deal. Affidavit of memorandum. So now this deal right here, if I knew about this deal probably 7 years ago, it would have saved me a whole lot of money. All right, so this is what we call deal insurance, right? Me and one of my students, we had two fourplexes. The seller agreed to sell it to it. We found the buyer who agreed to buy it. We got the inspection done on the property. Got at a really good deal. And so the day before or day of the closing, The seller wired the money. The money was there ready to go. In my mind, we about to spend about, I think about 20 grand, 30 grand or something like that. And so in my mind, the money was spent already. And my student's mind, the money was spent already, right? So what happened is the seller, the day of the closing, the seller decides he don't want to sell it no more, but he's not telling us. So we're calling and calling and calling and calling. He's not returning our calls. Now the day passed. The end buyer is mad at me. He think I don't know what I'm doing, so I lose him as a client, as a buyer. The title company is calling me because I wasted their time basically, and I'm pretty sure my student was mad at me too, but it was beyond my control, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking that this seller probably said, "Okay, I'm gonna stall this contract out to get it sold at a higher price. Maybe I was trying to get too much for it or whatever." So what happened is probably about 3 years later, I said, let me pull this address up to see what happened to this property, because you can pull it up to see if he still owns this property. He had just sold it probably a month or so before. So what happened was he just didn't want to sell it no more, but he didn't tell nobody, right? So if I'd have had this affidavit or memorandum signed, he wouldn't be able to do that. He'd have had to sell it to me, right? They would have called me, "Hey, Mr. Wicker, 3 years ago you had this property in the contract. I need you to release the contract so this person can sign." I can say no, because 3 years ago we had it in a contract and we couldn't find you no more, and I need to get my money. So you need to send me $25,000 and I'll let you go, or I'm not letting you go. They'd have had to pay us to let them go. You sign a contract, you're held liable for it. Now, another thing too, so let's say you got a deal on the contract, and you work with another wholesaler that's in a different state. Now, you don't know who that person is. Maybe that person trying to steal your deal, right? You can file this affidavit memorandum, and it stops anybody from going around and take your deal. I am a mobile notary, online notary as well. I can actually execute this because you don't work for me, right? I work for you, but I can notarize for you online, right? So you don't work for Mid-City Acquisition Group. You your own entity. I'm just using me as a service. So, but yeah, I can sign that, execute that. You file that at the state, the county courthouse, and that stops people from going around you to steal your deal. So it's a couple of deals, like things like that. It's very beneficial to know. I didn't know that at that time. So submission to closing, here's a few steps. So just in case you get some of the contract, you want to know what's next. Like, this is next. What's next? This is next. Kind of walk you through the whole process. All right. As we talked about, we do multifamily properties as well, which is huge. You got a commercial deal, you have to fill this out. So commercial deal submission form. One of the most important things you need to do is, first of all, the address. And if it has how many 1 bedrooms it has, how many 2 bedrooms it has, how many 3 bedrooms it have, and what they're renting for is very important. Because when you're dealing with commercial properties, you can have let's say you have a 10 unit on one side of a corner and another 10 unit on the other side. And let's say the one on the left side has 8 people living in it, the one on the right side has 5 people in it. They both look good, they both fixed up, all that. Which one is cost the most? It'd be the one on the left side, because they got more people, they got more revenue coming in from that property. That's how commercial is done. It's about the money that's kicking off times a multiple. Right, so it's a little bit more different. So we need to have all that information. Preferably, I can send you like a link of stuff, of a list of stuff that we need from them. Last 2 year tax returns. There's a lot of stuff. T12, the whole nine. So profit and loss sheet, all that good stuff. So, but yeah, you get ready to do a commercial deal, let us know. We kind of walk you through all that as well. Now, here's an Excel spreadsheet, multifamily deal analyzer. You plug in the information, it'll let you know if that's something we're interested in buying. All right, letter of intent. So here's what they call letter of intent, where it gives you the ability, once you get this executed, give you ability to send this over to other people, right? To be able to assign it to somebody else, right? Give you equitable interest is what I'm trying to say. Give you equitable interest for you to be able to send that out to somebody else. So keep in mind, we're not selling the property. We're selling our rights to this contract. All right. Document checklist. So all this stuff right here, you have more than this. As far as the information document checklist, this is old here. So you have a lot more of this stuff, contracts, all that good stuff that's in here now. So I need to update this. All right, so let's say you're looking to get into fix and flip. We also have Mca Bridge Lending as well. So you need a loan that you can get from Mca Bridge Lending, where it's not based on your credit, but it's based on the property. So we'll lend you money and money to fix a property up. You know, so you're looking to do fix and flip, we'll loan you the money to do all that good stuff. The thing about it, you got to have some experience, or you need to leverage somebody else's experience. So if you know somebody who's been doing it for a while and they willing to bring you on as a partner to show us that you have done a couple of deals, maybe you guys do something together, then we can actually loan you some money on it. So, but as a first time person fixing up property, it wouldn't be wise for anybody to loan you money like that because you haven't proved yourself yet. But my job is to help you get to that place. So if I need to set you up with somebody who's actually already in this business, you leverage their experience, absolutely. Maybe you want to bring them on as a partner on your deal, we can do stuff like that. So you just let me know what you're trying to do. My job is to tailor what we do to fit what you're trying to get done. So this is truly a one-stop shop, guys. Bridge lending as well. So, bridge lending is when a person have a property. Let's say a person have a property in California and they got a great job offer in New York. Now they have a mortgage in California and they want to buy a house in New York. So what we'll do, as long as they have a 20 or 30% equity in that property, we can lend them money that makes that payment on that property to that property sales. So this person can go ahead and buy this new property that he's looking to buy in New York. So it's called bridge lending. Of course, you can make bread on that as well. Make some money on that as well. Do it in all 50 states. If you're in the great state of Texas, we are partnered up with a couple of energy companies. So TXU and Reliant is two of the biggest energy companies in Texas as well. Green Mountain is pretty small, but we work with them as well. So if you have a brick and mortar company and you need electric, definitely reach out to us. We can help you with that. All right, so we're gonna take a quick pause for the calls right here while I set something else up. So do you have any questions for me so far?
Let me look through my notes real quick.
I know I went along a lot of information right there.
I was taking notes and taking pictures. Okay. I didn't understand the HUD process, but I guess that's something that you would go into more in detail with the
yes. Okay, so HUD is basically HUD is when a person loses their property. Let's say use it because they didn't pay the taxes or whatever the case, they lose the house because they didn't pay the mortgage or whatever the case is, right? And it's up for foreclosure. So those properties, of course, goes back to HUD now. And they have to go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. It says step-by-step guide to real estate wholesaling?
Yes.
Okay. So now what they have to do is turn around and sell that property for what is actually owed on that property. So you may come into this property and it already has a deep discount on this property. But the great thing about it has an REO agent already attached to it, a real estate agent already attached to it. And it has all the pictures in it. It has a lockbox on it. So you can literally go to that site and look, you can look all through the property from those video. I hope there's a video on there now. I'm not for sure. It's been a while since I've been on there. Used to have just pictures. And you can put offers in right then and there. So you contact that real estate agent, say, hey, I would like to put offers in on these properties. And I'm doing it on a daily basis or weekly basis or whatever. Do you have an assistant that can put these offers in for me? Because you're not giving them retail price for these properties. You're going to, of course, come out at a discount. So sooner or later, after putting in multiple offers on these properties and they're a lot lower than what they're marketed for, eventually that real estate agent is going to get tired and not want to work with you no more. But if they have an assistant, she would just push that information, push that over to the assistant and have them put that offer in. And then when you run across a deal that you won, you have to execute. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, when you start doing that, I would definitely walk you through that. But I would say get your buyer already lined up in that area first, because they don't want earnest money as well. You don't want that money to come out of your pocket.
Okay. And then for the expired listings, the realtor wouldn't get their typical 3% or however much it is. They would just get like a referral fee.
Correct. Yes, that's true. Because keep in mind that those deals are dead because they expired. For some reason, the real estate agent could not sell them. Maybe it needed more repairs. Maybe the seller wanted more money for it than was actually worth. But what we do a lot of creative deals where we can do like a lease option, an owner finance deal, where we can possibly pay more for these deals than it's actually worth. If that person is willing to take a down payment, a small down payment, and a monthly payment, we can actually pay more for this property over time. So if we're able to structure something to where it's a win-win for everybody, now the person sell their property, they're going on with their life, we can make us some money, we're happy, our end buyer can get right into it. They got a great deal at an interest rate that's phenomenal, a little bit money down, a little bit money every single month. The real estate agent makes, $1,000, $2,000 or whatever. Everybody wins in that scenario.
Okay. So because the contract's expired, that's why they don't get their
3%. Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
I think that's all I had at this time. Thank you.
All right, so let's keep going there. You ain't gone yet, are you? Okay,
oh, no.
Okay, all right, cool. So here's a step-by-step guide to real estate wholesaling. So here's a few steps. So the question is, what is wholesaling? So wholesaling provides a great opportunity for those who have limited capital to get immersed into the real estate industry. So wholesaling is the process of finding off-market properties and passing them along to an end investor. The goal of a wholesaler is to find a discounted property, get it under contract, and then sell it to the buyer for a profit. Because of this strategy, wholesaling properties is one of today's quickest methods of turning a profit. So everybody is wholesaling out there. Think about Walmart. Walmart they just a big wholesaling company. They get these properties at a deep discount because they buy them in bulk. So now they can sell them at a little bit of discount than other companies can. They find us, we go in and buy because we got it, we think it's a great price, but the property is a great price. They still making their money, and they just continue to flip that. They continue to flip product. They are wholesaling. That's all it is. You see people who buy lumber at a deep discount, turn around and sell it to people who fix houses. So they mark it up for their price point, and they sell it to us who won't pay 3 times the amount for this property over time. Everybody is wholesaling. That makes sense. So that's all it is, man. So we just wholesaling houses though. That's it. It's the same process still applies. So off-market properties, contract to seller, look for an interested buyer, assign a contract to purchase with buyer. That's basically what it is. The hardest part of this whole deal is to find the deal. The money is the easy part. You would think it would be the opposite. No, there's cash buyers everywhere. We can find a cash buyer right now. Especially people who, let's say, you have some people who have money. I was a mortgage broker for some years. As a matter of fact, next month on the 15th, I go take my test to be a mortgage broker again. So I just have people contact me as a loan officer to buy property. Now they had money. They had a lot of mattress money, had money in the bank or whatever the case is, but their credit wasn't right. So they couldn't buy a home. So I didn't know anything about wholesaling at that time. So a lot of those people, like on a daily basis, I was turning them down. And like, man, you know anybody how something? I'm like, nah, man, this. I thought it was the only way to get a home was going through a bank. But no, there's many other ways to get a home without going through banks. And that's what we do. That's what we do. Creative financing. We figure out a way to get it done. And so not just wholesaling, but we do lease options, subject tos, it's a long list of stuff. So when we talking to a person, what we're doing, we're tailor our offer to fit their issue. We are just a big problem solver. You tell me, hey man, my house, I lost my job, my wife sick, or whatever the case is. We just need to make it back to New York where my family is, so we can get taken care of. I don't really care about this house. My job is now to tailor my offer to get you some money in your pocket so you can move on with your life. Right? So here's $5,000 walk-in money. Matter of fact, do you guys, what you gonna do with your furniture? Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my furniture. I tell you what, I'm gonna give you some money to rent your U-Haul. I'm gonna give you $1,000 for that. Plus I'm gonna give you $5,000 to sign this thing over my name. and you walk away. We're going to quickly wholesale this deal and make some money off of it. He or she is happy because they go to their family. They still got their furniture they can put in stores while they get their life back on track. We're just thinking outside the box. You know what I'm saying? So the quicker you can do that, the better off you will be. All right. Wholesaler price with sellers, $100,000, right? Wholesaler price with investors, 110. So we just marked it up 10 grand. Your profit is 10 grand. So if you get a deal that's worth $100,000, you talk them down to maybe $70,000 because they have a lot of work need to be done to it. So you have a 30% equity in this property going in the gate. So now I turn around and sell it to you for, $80,000. I made 10 grand. That's all it is. You make sure you talk them down enough till you can put your points or your money in between, and everybody wins. If you cannot put money in between, why are you doing the deal? Right. So we have to learn the art of negotiation as well. And with us being on the phone call together, we're talking to your clients and stuff like that. I can help you with that. You can learn from what I'm doing till you get to the point to where you're comfortable with doing it. Right. Now, financing techniques, all cash, discounted terms, both cash and terms. So I always say if the seller demanding all of these things, the deal won't work. He cannot sell it for the top price, right? I got to be able to, and he can't, or the terms as well. He can't get the terms and the cash price. I got to be able to get the terms if you're going to get the cash price. Like if he's saying, man, my property's worth 110 grand, but I'm not going no lower than 100 grand. Okay, cool. I'll give you 100 grand. If you're willing to take terms, meaning if you're willing to take a little bit down and then X amount of dollars a month, we can do the deal. Even though I think it should be around 90 or 80, I take that over time. We can make that happen. But if you say, look, I take the, 100, I take the terms where you pay me, a big down payment and a big monthly payments where you can't get cash. We got to get the discounted down because I got to make sure that my end buyer wins in this negotiation. So I know it's a little bit technical, but it'll make sense once you do one of these type of deals, though. So remember, if the seller hesitates to sell under these 3 techniques, you will not profit from the deal. Simple as that. So 10 steps to master the real estate wholesaling. All right. You can't make any money if you can't find deals, right? Decide which market you would like to invest in, drive for dollars, be familiar with the neighborhoods that you're targeting, write down the addresses, potential property. So driving for dollars is the most cheap and inexpensive way to do that. So drive for dollars, get in your car maybe one Saturday, or when you're going to work, instead of taking this same route that you take, maybe take a couple extra dips, turns or whatever. Look at the house and see what needs some work done to it. See what house haven't had their grass cut in a while. Write the address down and do a skip trace to see who own it. Contact the seller and see if you can negotiate a great deal. Skip trace, contact the owner, gather necessary information to determine if the property works for you. If you can't find that number, send a postcard or a letter. Now, it's important too. So if you do skip trace and you cannot find that number, or for whatever reason, you go on Facebook, you can't get in contact with the owner, you have their address. So every person who owns a property in the United States has to have an address that's on file. So when the taxes are due, they can send those tax information to that person. So you go to the county tax assessor's office online, the owner's email, the owner's address where they currently live at is on there. So you can send a postcard or a letter. So what I don't do postcards anymore. So I do like a handwritten letter. So if you go to Dollar Tree and go look at the brightest orange paper possible or the brightest yellow paper as possible, write a quick letter. Hey, my name is Jay. I'm a local investor looking to buy one more property in this area. I seen your property, very interested in it. Give me a call if you're interested in selling it, right? So what I would do, I would print out a copy of properties in this area, maybe what they're selling for, whatever the case is, or a picture of the that property and the condition it's in, because he may not know it's in a bad condition. Take a picture of that, send it to him. So when it hits his mailbox, it stands out because it's in a white envelope, but in yellow paper in the inside. It stands out, right? He sees my handwritten letter. He sees the condition that his property is currently in. So I took a picture with my phone and I printed it out. And he made, hey man, yeah man, I didn't know, man, what happened to the property, man? Why my windows busted out or what? Now, I don't know. I was driving by and I seen it, man. I wanted to let you know what state your property was in. And he like, man, my last tenant who was there probably destroyed it, man. You know, man, I'm tired of this property, man. What would you give me for it? And there it is. Now you in negotiation on this deal. So you have to do, you know, instead of you knew instead of putting your offer in right in and there. So I tell you what, man, I got the address and everything. Tell me what you want for it. Let me do my due diligence. What's a good time for me to give you a call back today? Man, take a look at it. Give me a call back today between this time. Is this your cell phone number here? Can I call you at this number? Will you be available? Boom. You give me a call. Jay, I got a person we need to call today at this time. Can we run the numbers on here to see what we can pay this person to get you on the phone together? And then you get on the phone. Hey, Mr. Seller, my business partner Jay is on the phone, and let me take from there. Let me do my thing, right? Let me sell this person for you. And let's get it under contract. Let's make you some money. It's simple, guys. No other companies doing that. None. None. I'm telling you, it's not going down like that. All right. So inspect the property. So if the property meets your criteria, inspect the property personally, if possible. Look at the house and check the area. Inspect the floor, roof, paint, leaks, tree around the property. Don't forget to take pictures and videos. Now, if this property is in your area, I want you to go out to these properties and take some pictures. Get familiar with looking at houses. If you're on the ground and you can see the roofs, zoom into the roof on both sides, at the top if you could. Take some pictures around the property, inside and out, up and down the street, and all that stuff. So what you're doing, you want to paint a picture for your end buyer. So when you send this out to your buyers list, you want your buyers list to look at the photos that you have and make them feel like they're actually at that property. When they can say, I'm looking at this property, it's in my neighborhood I want to buy. I know this property. Let me see, what kind of work it needs to be done. You took good enough pictures to kind of tell them roughly it needs about 10 grand in repairs and he wants this for it. Now they're calling you. Hey, send me this picture. When can I go see it? And you go see it today at this time. They go by and take a look at it. The buyers, they know exactly what to do. If they want it, they got to go put on earnest money immediately to lock this property in, and they have 7 to 10 days to close the deal, or they lose their earnest money, which goes to you in this situation. So we'll break that down further when we get to that point. So, all right. Any questions about that so far?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. Am I talking too fast?
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
I like listening to fast.
Okay. Okay. All right. Make a cash offer. So structure the offer that you would pay the seller and determine how much will be the profit. Compute the ARV and follow 70% rule. So there's a rule of thumb when it comes to putting in offers, right? So it's called a 70% rule. So let's say if a property is worth $100,000, so you immediately do 0.7%, right? And there it is, $70,000 is the max you can pay for this property. Now you want to negotiate your fee. If you want to make $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever. Let's say you want to make $5,000. So you have to deduct that from that $70,000. Now it's $65,000 that you could offer. Now if it has about $5,000 in repairs, now it's $60,000. That's the maximum allowable offer on that particular deal. You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of deduct it. So you work your way backwards on the deal. All right. So many people calling me today. All right. So yeah, so the 70% rule. If you go on YouTube and pull up the 70% rule, there's quite a few tutorial videos that really kind of breaks that down. All right. 5 signs a purchase agreement with seller. Consult a real estate attorney to review all your contracts before you execute them. Do your best to make the seller sign the contract as soon as possible before they accept a better offer. Having the seller sign the contract gives you equitable interest in the property, which allows you to assign or sell the property. Now, this is very important. I had a deal that I was doing with an older gentleman and his wife. On the phone, we agreed to the terms and everything. This before I had DocuSign. This was years ago, right? So it's in my neighborhood. So I said, listen, in my mind, I'm too tired, man. I'm not going back out. But we agreed on the price. I was like, yeah, I'll come by tomorrow and we'll sign the contract tomorrow and give me some rest, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, yeah, we'll be ready for you. Yeah, you know, my wife interested in meeting you and look forward to seeing you. Set it up for probably 10 o'clock that next day. So 10 o'clock the next day, I'm sure enough, I'm pulling in the driveway, getting ready to pull in the driveway, somebody pulling out of there. And when I walk up to the door, the guy said to me, hey, man, I'm sorry, man, the guy before we did sign a contract with him. So I lost potentially $10,000 because I was being lazy and didn't want to go over there and get the contract signed. So my thing is, once you guys agree on a purchase price on that property, get the contract signed immediately. Immediately. Get it done. We have DocuSign. We can send that directly to them immediately, right? And get them to sign it. So now you ain't got to worry about nobody coming behind you to get the contract signed. And if you got DocuSign, I mean, we have DocuSign. If you sign it with us, we got it. We can do it for you. But if we cannot do it, we close or whatever the case is, it's important that you get it as well. So if you run across that problem, you know how to solve that. All right. So by signing that contract too, it gives you what they call equitable rights to be able to do whatever you need to do with that property. It's at least the contract, the position. All right, we talked about the affidavit memorandum, how you protect your deal. Protect your deal so the seller cannot sell the property to someone else. This will be sworn before a notary saying that you have the signed contract with the seller, which is me in that situation. I can notarize that for you. So that way you don't have to worry about nobody trying to take your deal. All right.
I have a question.
Yes.
On that, whenever you have them sign the contract at the same time they sign the affidavit of memorandum.
No. Okay, so when they sign a contract with you, when they sign a contract with you, we can do that through DocuSign. Mm-hmm. But then if you want to get this contract signed with the affidavit memorandum, no, you do that before a notary republic. So if you can go to your nearest bank and have them to sign it right in there. So it's basically saying, here's the contract that me and the seller signed. Here you go, notary. And here's a document. We're doing this affidavit memorandum. So this, based on this contract, the notary is saying, look, I seen the contract and yes, she is on the contract, and here's the stamp to prove that she is. So now you take the two documents and you go down to the county court office and you file that.
Okay, I get it.
Yep. So now, if somebody was to pull that up, let's say if a title company was wanting to run the history of this property because somebody's trying to buy it, it's going to pull up a red flag. Hey, hold up for a second. Miss Elaine had this under contract a couple of days ago. In order for me to clear this, you guys need to contact Miss Elaine. So now you'll know if the seller is trying to sell this property around you or another wholesaler is trying to take it or whatever the case is. And they can't do anything because you're clouding the title.
I see.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Look for a new buyer. So having a list of buyers is vital. Know what your potential buyers are looking for. When you have a property under contract, you can call them immediately. So it's great to have you a good. I would say if you're doing it just in your area, get you about five to six great investors that's going to pull the trigger whenever a deal comes down the line, right? If you're in different areas or whatever the case is, it's pretty easy to find a buyer immediately. So I wouldn't really press the issue on that. But you need to know what your buyers are looking for. So when you're trying to find some good deals, those are the deals that you're lining up. So, preferably you're looking at 3-bedroom brick, 1-2-bedroom bath, right? That's kind of what you're looking for. Now, some people do wood frames, which is cool too, but the really good deals is the brick ones, right? So, all right, from what I've seen. But I've closed a lot of wood frame properties though, so. All right, sign a purchase agreement with the buyer. If you're going to make more than the $10,000, do a double closing agreement. If you have a smaller profit, an assignment agreement will be less expensive and easier. Now, if you're making over 10 grand on a deal, I would say do a double closing. Because what can happen is the seller can see that you're making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on the deal, and they may say, hold on, man, where all this money going to? And can possibly destroy your deal. Right? So if you're making anything under 10 grand, it'd be easy to go ahead and sign it. You don't have to do a double closing. But I've seen it. So when I'm talking to a seller and they know I'm wholesaling them, I'm like, listen, this is what you want. This is what I'm going to get you. So you don't have to worry about what I'm going to make on the deal. As long as you get what you want, we should be good, right? Right? So sometimes, a lot of times I just tell them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It all depends. All right, to deliver the contract to a trusted title company. Title companies will be held to a close. Let me say, the title companies will be helpful to close your real estate transaction. They will make sure that the title has no problem. 99% of all closings use a title company. Don't forget to follow up with them throughout the whole process until the day of the closing. Now, a title company destroyed one of my deals before. So you have to be careful on what title company that you're working with. Not all title companies does assignment agreements or work with wholesalers. So my thing is, you working with me, my job is to find a title company or a closing attorney that can close your deal, right? Because I got tons of questions I want to ask them. So when I'm talking to these people, these title companies, and I ask them, do you work with wholesalers? I want them to say immediately, yes. Matter of fact, I want them to say, yes, we just closed one a moment ago with Mr. Such and Such. So I know that they know what they're talking about. So this is what happened to me. I was doing a deal in Michigan. And probably 4 or 5 days before the deal was about to close, because I told them what I wanted, everything was cool. Yes, we closed these deals, we closed these deals, everything. So about 4 or 5 days before it's time to close the deal, they called me. Hey man, you got, I know you're trying to close the deal, man, but we don't do assignment agreements. I'm like, what do you mean? I've been talking to Miss Such and Such. She says, I don't know what to tell you. We don't deal with like wholesalers and doing assignment agreements. So, and my contract was going to be up like that next day. So I lost that deal. So the owner mad at me because I wasn't able to close the deal. The cash buyer was mad at me because I wasn't able to close the deal, and I was just sick behind it. So my job now is to the work you put in ahead of time before it gets there. The question that you ask will be greatly appreciated on the back end because there's normally no headache. So normally in that situation, I'm taking care of that. I just ran across a couple of title companies that does nationwide stuff now. So now I think going forward, I won't be I'll just give you guys the information of the title companies that's nationwide. So you can use them no matter where your deal is at, you can deal with one particular title company on all your deals. So they do these type of deals, You know what I'm saying? So I think that's going to be probably about next month. I will be reaching out to her to come on our REI meetup group as well to kind of explain what kind of service she has to offer. But I think it blows out of the water. Now, in some states, they don't have title companies. They have closing attorneys. So in those situations, I will pull up the closing attorney in that area that can close your deal, to make sure that at least when it comes to the title work, the title company won't destroy it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Wow. All right. Now, close the transaction and get paid. Congratulations. Go ahead and celebrate. Then repeat the process and never give up. Important, guys. So there's about 10. I noticed my numbers is real off. it was off for some reason, so we got to straighten that out. But that's the process of it. That's wholesaling 101. It's the 10 steps to getting the deal done. So let me show you something here. What I just do? Hold on 1 second. Any questions so far?
No questions.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to what I just do here. Okay, let me pull this up here. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So we're about to finish up about 10 minutes now. So I'm trying to stay under this 2 hours. All right, so this is the thing we need to do to get you a deal in the first 30 days, right? 30 days to a real estate wholesaling challenge. It's a challenge for you. So to see where you're at. And what I'm going to do now, and in the week's time, what we'll get back together for a few months. Hold on 1 second. I got to take this call. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Hello? Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wife was calling, so I got to pick the phone. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. No problem.
Okay, so get you a pen and paper real quick.
I have one.
Okay, so there's 30 days to your deal. So here's about some things you need to do to get yourself out there. And it's a challenge to you. So what I was doing after 30 days, I would reach back out to everybody to see where they're at. I'm not gonna wait that long. I'm in a week's time, we're gonna get back and we're gonna talk about what are you doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's called accountability. Okay. So, what are you doing? Is this done yet? You know what I'm saying? So let's do it. Let's go. All right. So go on Zillow and pull up 50 rental deals, cold call deals a day, and reach out to them. Like I said, some of them are real estate agents. You want to kind of jump over them, but the ones that's actually the owners, reach out to them. If you want to use the newspaper, that's cool too. But you want to talk to people who are renting their properties out and try to contact them personally. And again, so you want to know. I see that you're renting your property out. I want to know you're interested in selling it. And then ask them the questions, the addresses, what would you sell it for, all that good stuff. So
is there a script for that?
Yes, my assistant, I guess she just sent it out to you. So what I'm gonna do is have her to send it out to you tonight or first thing Monday morning. Because I don't think you don't have all that welcome package stuff yet, huh? You don't have that yet. Okay, so yeah, I'll definitely get that to you.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, you want to do 25 postcards a week. So me, I do letter writing. So add yourself to 5 wholesaling Facebook groups a week. So you need about 20 a month in a month's time. This is all stuff you can actually do in a week. All right. Post I buy houses cash on your social media 21 times a week on each account. That's 3 times a day. Now, there's a site called Pinterest. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Where you can add all your social media accounts on one particular group, and when you post, it goes to all your social media accounts at one time.
Oh, okay.
It's called Pinterest. Driving for dollars, 2 hours a week. So you can literally, you say on Saturday, you spend 2 hours a Saturday just driving for dollars. It's actually pretty fun. My wife used to sit in the passenger seat. I'll be driving, and she write down the addresses, and we just talking and riding. Matter of fact, we did it with the group before where I went live doing driving for dollars, and people was on it. They doing it in their state as well, and we just talking trash and just, I'll drive for dollars. So matter of fact, we need to do that again. Ain't did it in a while, so we need to do that again. That was pretty cool. Contact 5 pre-foreclosures a week. So what you can do is go to your county. Where were you located at?
In Corinth, right next to Denton.
Okay, yeah, I come through there a lot actually. By that boat stuff over there, it's like no, that's before that. It's a donut shop over there. I went to a couple of times. Is that McDonald's right there, right on the corner?
Not sure.
But what you do is you go to Denton County Tax Assessor's office. No, that's Denton, huh? That's not Dallas County. That's Denton County.
Right, Denton.
Yes, you go to Denton County Tax Assessor's office and pull up pre-foreclosure, or you can go to REI Pro and pull them up, and just skip trace them and go to and try to reach out to them as well. Text 25 people you know personally and let them know that you buy houses all cash, and ask them to ask them if they know anyone that needs to sell, and give them incentive that you will give them $500 for each property that you buy. Now, I know you probably know 4,000 people on your phone. That should be really easy. So everybody you know should know that you're in real estate.
Okay.
And tell them to repost your posts when you post stuff like that. You're trying to get out there.
Okay.
Call 5 realtors and ask them for their expired listings. That's easy. That's easy to do. So, yeah, just reach out to them. Let them know you look at the boss. Send them the expired listing. Kind of give them and it can be kind of, you new in this. It can be kind of what they call daunting, right? Mm-hmm. But you gotta, the other side of fear is success.
Right.
You gotta jump, and you're gonna hit some rocks, and you're gonna batter and bruise, but you'll come out of that in a better situation. So you just gotta jump. And they're in sales, right? Any way that they can make some extra money, they're willing to do it. Because if they don't close a deal, they don't eat. Mm-hmm. And you talk about possibly putting money in their pocket, they should want to know what you're talking about. So, all right. Contact a fellow wholesaler and ask them if they have any properties they are trying to sell. Let them know that you have buyers in all 50 states, and if they are willing to have JV on them, give you a call.
Okay.
Get them a buyer or whatever. So there's tons of wholesalers out there. Tons of them. You'll see them signs. We buy houses everywhere. Write them down. Write them down. Hey, man, I see you advertising everywhere, man. That must cost you a lot of money to do that. Nah, man, I do this on my own. Man, I sure wish I knew how to do what you're doing. Matter of fact, you got any properties close by? Let's get together, man. Some coffee. Let's talk a little bit. See how I can help you or whatever, Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, what I used to do when I first got started. Matter of fact, I need to do it now since COVID is kind of lifting. I did tours here in Dallas County, here in Dallas Fort Worth, and all the Starbucks, right? I'll pull up maybe 5 Starbucks on a Saturday, and I'll make an announcement on Facebook. Hey, I'm gonna be at this Starbucks at this time for this many hours, and I'll leave there and I'll go to one in Arlington. I'm gonna be at this Starbucks at this time, and I was doing that quite a bit. And I used to have people come out. And we sign and this talk, you know what I'm saying? What are you doing? How can I help you? How can you help me? And a lot of those people we do business to this day. Oh. You know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of that stuff I was doing before I even closed the deal. I was just bringing people together. You know what I'm saying? I gotta write that down. That's crazy. I ain't thought about that. So I'm about to let me write this down. Starbucks tour. That was pretty cool, man. I guess I don't know, got to wait a little longer because of the COVID thing. They wait a little longer, but I'm definitely gonna do that in the summer. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Reach out to Bird Dogs on Facebook. Let them know you will split assignment fee with them 50-50 if they bring you a deal that you close. So you may need to write up a quick contract with them if they're willing to do that. Mm-hmm. It's basically, hey, my name is Elaine, and I agreed to split the assignment fee 50 with them, 50-50 with whoever, and send it out to them, let them execute it if they want to do it that way, or sometimes they don't. Like, I've never did a contract like that, but I did have a guy ask me for a contract.
Wouldn't that be like the JV contract?
Well, no. This is with a bird dog. This is like a person that's going to be like a. Well, I take that back. This is what a bird dog. This is a person who's going to look for some good deals, and then you bring them on as a partner. Mm-hmm. So you can say, hey, I'm agreed to bring you on as a partner on a deal, and we're going to split it 50-50. So you will be actually on the contract as well. So it's something to say it says that. Matter of fact, I need to do a contract. Matter of fact, I'll have my sister to do one and actually send that out to you.
Okay, thank you.
I need to get me one done. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, so here's the quote, right? You don't have to be good to start. You just have to start to be good. So it's important. So my thing is now, so what are the reasons why you're getting into wholesaling?
I want to be able to work part-time and still make okay money so that I can stay home with my son mostly. Absolutely.
So your son is your why, right?
Yes.
So are you willing to go the extra mile?
Yes.
You're willing to go the extra mile. So that's the only thing you need. That's the only thing you need. So when the time get a little tough, you got to think about your son, man. It's go time. It's people out here making $30,000 off a deal. It's possible. It's possible. So, but you have to put in the work. It won't come to you. And when you're doing something that you see that is working, if you stop doing it, it'll stop working. I experienced it. You know, like I remember when this guy, I had closed this deal, nice little deal, and I was excited. I probably was on like a little tour. I'm spending this money, and by the time this money was looking like it's about to end, I had to start all over again to motivate myself and to get leads coming to the pipeline, because when I stopped, everything else slowed down and it stopped. So my thing is put this stuff together. Get these people constantly sending you deals, and so nothing actually stops. And if you want to buy you some leads and stuff like that, definitely do that once you close your deal. I would say don't buy you no leads now, because what happens is a lot of people start off in this business and start buying leads and ads and all this stuff, and they don't even know what a deal looks like. So they may run across a deal that they don't even close because they don't know how to close a deal yet. Why not practice on this free stuff first? Right. And then when you get this down, then you invest your money into something else.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the way you do it. So now it's go time. I'm available for you. You have questions for me, shoot me a text. Now my hours is normally from 10 to 5. Now, if for some reason somebody contacts you, want to talk to you at 6 o'clock about a deal or whatever, just shoot me a text and say, hey Jay, I got a partner who wants to talk at this time at 6. Are you available? Okay, I'm available. I make myself available, because I know when you're calling, you're trying to make some money. I definitely get it, but on Saturdays, I usually set it down about 12 o'clock. So about 10 to 12, and I don't get back rolling to Monday at 10. You know what I'm saying? Because that's family time within that time.
Right. Yeah.
But so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add you to our Facebook group. So if you got a question, you can post it on there. A lot of people will ask it on there. What else? Just a couple more things, because you don't really have the stuff yet. So I thought you had it already, but I'm gonna send that out to you today.
Remember, I haven't paid yet, but I am going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So so I'm going to reach out to my sister today. Hopefully she can send it to you this evening. If not this evening, it'll be first thing Monday morning, and you ready to roll.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
Okay, so let me ask you, did you learn anything?
I learned a lot.
You learned it was too much, or you think you're good?
No, it's good. Like the JV thing sounds really easy.
Yeah.
I think I could do that. No problem, I hope.
Okay, not a problem. So you ready to go? You got some information, and understand too, this is just the entry level into investing. This is basic. You want to the point to where your money's working for you. Right now, we're still working for money. You know what I'm saying? So you want to, once you close a couple of these deals, and then you get it, because we're doing syndication deals now when it comes to commercial deals. So where we have people that's in our group who we are putting money together to buy small apartment complexes, and then now we're getting mailbox money. But you do this first, so you get to that position to where you can invest some money into, and you can sit back and let that money come to you now. That's the goal.
Yeah, that is
what I'm saying. That's the goal. So we start here. Put your work in. You get what you're worth in this business. I'm telling you. So if you can go online and pull up how to wholesale online, listen to people online, and listen to see how they negotiate wholesale deals, all that stuff. So turn the TV off, focus, and let's go get it.
All right.
All right. I appreciate it. I appreciate you getting on the call with me.
Okay.
You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Ms. Elaine, she's my new moderator for our REI meetup. Great asset. She's really, really new to this game. So we're going to teach her everything we need to teach her, man, to get her up to that next level. All right. So have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.